YouTube channel again. I hope the previous video has helped you decide on where to live, whether you should choose Kenya or you should choose Germany. Firstly, I would like to thank my loyal viewers for always sticking by me and watching my videos, even though sometimes they become boring or sometimes they're not very interesting. I thank you very much. I would also like to welcome my new subscribers and new viewers to my channel, and I tell you, this is the best place you can possibly be. Today we are going to discuss about how I came to Germany, and this is a topic that I have not expressed to anyone apart from my partner and most of my few friends who know how I came to Germany. It was, can I say, it's just a painful story that sometimes I try to avoid it. But now I think this is the right time for me to talk about it and for me to heal, not only to heal from my past memories, but also to heal inside and become a new being inside and start over life afresh. My journey to Germany began in 2020 during my final year in university. It was during this time that most of my friends we were asking amongst ourselves, what next after USIU? What will you do will you pursue a master's after this, or will you go job hunting? So most of my friends would say, oh, I would pursue my master's degree, but I wouldn't pursue it in USIU. I'm thinking of going overseas. Other of my friends were thinking about going to the US, Canada, Australia, UK, and a few thought about Europe. So for me, I had always wanted to go to Canada. I always loved Canada because of its migration policies, and that it needed a lot of immigrants to come. And it looked like a very friendly, welcoming country to me. And the other advantage was that Canada, they speak in English, and I looked and I said, oh, Canada would be the best country for me because I speak English, I can get a job, part-time job, I can stay there in Canada, and I can also visit the US from time to time. And beside, my grandmother actually lives in Alberta, Canada. And that actually put in the interest that I should go to Canada after my undergraduate. So unfortunately, we did not reach to that level. My grandmother was taking me into circles, like she was telling me, oh, apply this, apply that. And you know, I was applying to all these things, and I came to realize, oh, I think Canada is not for me, because earlier on during my time in the university, I was also applying to maybe transfer my credits to universities in Canada and the universities in the US. Some of these processes, like I was doing, I involved I involved my mother, I involved my family relatives, and once I involved them, when I would reach the final point, they would all drop out. So like, I have gotten acceptance, I've gotten all these other things, they would literally drop out and just leave me alone, and I end up crying and I end up feeling frustrated because of how all the hard work I have put in, all the finances I have put in. I would end up very frustrated. I can say that these events contributed to my performance in the university, because I was unable to concentrate, I was unable to be at a stable mindset in order to grasp whatever I'm being taught and and give feedback through the examination. It became really, really tough during my university times because my grand aunt would tell my mother there's this opportunity, I would apply. Then when I get those opportunities, towards the end, all of them end up dropping off, and I'm only the one left bearing all this pain. To cut the story short, in 2020, I spoke to my aunt. My aunt lives in Munich, Germany. I loved the way she lived, and I loved the fact that she was deeply integrated in the German culture, and she would speak German, and I really loved the me just seeing her speak German, and I was like, I can also do the same thing. And Germany became a country of interest to me, and I became more willing to see Germany as a potential country for me to live in. I approached my aunt and I told her of my interest in Germany, and at first I approached her with a half-sided heart, because there was this side of mine that wanted to go to Canada, and there was this side of mine that is now having a certain interest in Germany. And once I approached her, she was very welcoming. She told me about Germany, the German culture, how I should learn the German language, how it's not very easy, but within time I would learn the German language. After that, I remember me speaking to a friend of mine of my interest in Germany, and my friend was like, "Oh my God, you're going to a very racist country. You won't feel safe." And I was like, at first, I let my friend's opinion have a factor inside of me. So when I went back to my aunt and I told her, you know what, I don't want to go to Germany. I'm told that there is racism. I'm told that I won't be very comfortable living there. And she was like, who told you that? I'm living here. I've been living here for almost 30 years plus. And Germany is the best country that you would possibly go to. And she came up and told me about the free tuition fee, and I was sold. After telling me more information about Germany, I became more and more interested in Germany, and the interest in Canada became lower and lower and lower and lower. Soon, by the end of 2020, December, I already knew where I needed to be. I needed to be in Germany. I'm going to study in Germany. That was what I focused my mind to. So my aunt would guide me and tell me what I should do and things like that. And sometimes I would also do a lot of research online. I spent a long time. I remember the December 2020 and January 2021. I spent a whole time researching about when to apply for universities. I already knew the universities I would apply to, knowing that I had already finished my coursework and I was just waiting graduation in 2021 September. I already knew which state I wanted to be in. I already knew which course I wanted to pursue, and this was all surrounding the whole concept of me and my aunt coming together, helping each other with information, and allowing free movement of information. Whenever she would get a certain tip of information, she would send it to me. And whenever I would get something, I would send it to her. I had identified University of Passau as was one of my choices. And she told me, you can pursue in University of Passau. It's not far from Munich. We can find a way to always meet every weekend and just check up on each other. And it was really amazing because this is my aunt. I really loved this aunt of mine. She was the backbone of me. Like, I trusted her 180%. Like, to that extent, I knew she could not do anything to jeopardize my chances. I loved her from bits, and I can personally say to this YouTube that I loved my aunt more than even my mother herself. I did not imagine that one day I would sit and be angry at her and feel so much pain whenever I speak her name. I never imagined that. So I was doing my research and realized that in order to come to Germany, you need to show financial proof. There were three options. You need either a Verschpflichtungserklärung. It's a document signed by a German citizen stating that they will cater for you in everything when you're here in Germany until the end of your studies. Or you need scholarship, or you need to deposit a sum of 10,000 euros in a blocked account. So these were the three options that I had, and I had to choose one. So I went with the first one of signing Verschpflichtungserklärung because my aunt was a citizen. I spoke to my aunt, and my aunt had promised and said, you know what, I'm gonna sign you the Verschpflichtungserklärung, and that's the best that I can do for you because we have always been together. Like, my aunt and I were like best of friends, like mother and son. It was an platonic relationship that we had. My mother did not know of everything that is transpiring between my aunt and I because my mother and I were not very close, and we were actually conflicting in some areas, and we were not sharing a lot of information because my trust and her trust were broken, and there was a lot of series of events that had happened between my mother and I that made us drift apart. I told my aunt, please make sure that by June you have signed the Verschpflichtungserklärung. And she said, oh, by June, we are in January. Oh, that one will be ready. I promise you that. So I applied for University of Passau using the Uni Assist, which I will address this, how to apply to German university in other videos. So after that, I applied, but because of some of my courses that I did in my undergraduate, I was rejected. This is just 3 months later, and I have been rejected. And thank God I had already been applying to a series of universities. I had not only made University of Passau my one and only. No, I had applied to University of Vienna. I had applied to University of Cologne. I had applied to University of Bayreuth. Bayreuth was my last university, my last option. I was like, if all these 4 universities that I have applied to deny me, then I am completely done. I'm just completely done. It was really, really hard. And the second denial came from University of Vienna. I was like, oh my God, it was just barely some days of healing from being denied University of Passau. Mind you, I really wanted to go to University of Passau because it was very convenient for my aunt to come and visit me, and it was very convenient for everyone. It had one of the best programs that Germany could possibly have for my desired masters. Raphael has finally been accepted to join University of Bayreuth. My aunt was very happy, and I told my aunt, I told my mom. She was knowing all this information now, and she was super excited that I told her that I've been accepted to a university in Germany, and I will be soon enrolling in October. In order to go to Germany, you need to pass through the embassy. And the embassy came with, you need to show a proof of financial support. In July, when I told my aunt about the financial Verschpflichtungserklärung, she had said, oh, she was trying to look for appointments and I was also trying to beef up my CV, because you need to write a CV, you need to write in a statement of purpose, you need to fill in the form for the visa, you need to contact the university, make sure everything is okay, and you need to choose actually an accommodation. There was just a lot of things that you needed to do. So I told my aunt about the Flash Fishing Declarum. Then she tried looking for appointments, and the possible appointment was in August. In August, I think, yeah. So, and in August, it was really interesting. It was an interesting moment, because in August, it was a time when she is about to come to Kenya, because she had planned this trip earlier. The signing part was to be done by the two, my uncle and her, and she was not present when my uncle went to the city hall to sign the Verpflichtung Declarum. So they asked my uncle, are you the only one supporting Rafi, or are you going to support it with your wife too? He said, I'm going to support it with my wife too. And they said, we want the signature of your wife. You need to come back and sign with your wife. We want to see your wife. We don't want to just see her passport. We want to see your wife.